Hi, everybody. I'm Dr. Isaac Halliday, owner of Lodestar Physical Therapy. I am here with Ron Hansen. He is a CrossFit coach with over 15 years of experience who discovered that the most powerful coaching happens between the ears. Now that he is a certified Enlifted Mindset coach, he helps people rewrite the stories that keep them from being who they are capable of being. Ron, it's so good to have you on, man. Um, Thanks for
Yeah,
thanks for coming on.
you bet. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah. Tell people your story, where you started, where you're at now, and give
Well,
us a backstory
my
of that.
my story started back in 2008 when I went through a pretty messy div divorce, started exercising because it was the one thing that I felt like I could control. So I started out like most people. I started out not knowing what I was doing in a commercial gym, and then I found a bodybuilding program that I started. They had a transformation contest that I won. That was early 2009. And then I found Beachbody programs, and I loved those programs, and they really taught me what intensity was. And
They do.
well,
Yeah,
yeah,
if you know those
yeah,
programs, they are
yeah,
intense.
yeah. So one one night I was on this message board and I was hating on CrossFit with all the other CrossFit haters. And I realized that I didn't really know what I was talking about because I didn't actually know anything about CrossFit. So I started looking into it. I started reading the CrossFit Journal articles. I started watching some of the videos. They didn't have a lot of content out back in 2009, but they had some. Started reading articles and I started doing the workouts. And, uh, and, and then I decided I was going to find a gym and I was just going to try out a couple of workouts. So uh, I had taken my kids back to their mother, and I drove past CrossFit down in Saratoga Springs. Walked in, and I saw people doing snatches and muscle ups, and I was like, "Oh, I need to try this for sure." Uh, and so then I found a gym closer to home. Uh, I was 2 weeks into my membership when I decided that this is what I wanted to do for forever. And so I got my level one and started coaching part time while I was working for the Department of Corrections. So that's my CrossFit journey. Enlifted Enlifted is a little darker story. January 1st, 2025, my youngest son committed suicide, and I mean, I was a wreck. I didn't know what was going on, but I just happened to be watching. Uh, I was I was doom scrolling, just trying to take my mind off of everything, and I saw a video playing from Best Hour of Their Day, and it was kind of a commercial with Mark England, who's the founder of the Enlifted method, and gave I gave him a phone call just to get a little bit more information with them on the program. 20 minutes after my phone call was over with their sales department, I was on the phone with Mark himself, and we spent nine hours on the phone over the course of 3 separate days, uh, just helping me work through what had happened with my son. Uh, couple months later, the level one certification started. I did that, and I did it because I realized that I didn't have the tools that I should have had as a father
Mm,
to help help my son
yeah,
when he needed it.
yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
That's wow. That's
A little
that
darker than we
that got heavy
probably
real
wanted
quick.
to go.
Yeah.
Yeah, it did. Sorry about that.
That's all right. That's all right. That's quite the journey though. That's it's kind of fun to see kind of where people start in their um in their careers, I guess, and then
Yeah.
their little pivots and changes from being a CrossFit hater to now being a coach and running your own gym, right? CrossFit EMC.
Yeah, so I'm the general manager and head coach here. It's actually owned by a parent company.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay. Right. And so then, so CrossFit hater to general manager
general manager,
and lover.
lover of the methodology.
Yeah. And then in a situation that I think so many people that we don't know have very similar situations to yours, with your son.
Yes,
And and just like you, I think people just don't know that there are resources out there and people that can help,
right. Yeah, exactly.
right? Pre and
Yeah.
post,
Yes.
traumatic incidents. So
Yeah,
um, it's kind of cool. And now you coach the Enlift method too, right?
I do. I do.
Yeah. So I think that's so cool. There's only so much that Firefly can heal. Um,
But it but it heals a lot.
but it heals a
It
lot.
heals a lot.
It does. It does. And it's going to heal more when it comes
It,
back.
that's right.
For everyone, that's an inside joke. Ron loves Firefly. I love Firefly, not as much as Ron, but if you've never seen Firefly, go watch it.
You need to
Uh,
watch it.
you need to watch it. You better watch it.
Yeah.
Um, well, so yeah, let's go to your CrossFit journey first. Let's talk about that
Okay.
a little bit.
Yeah.
And let's talk about some misconceptions with it because there are a lot of misconceptions out there. What are they? What are they? And why are they wrong?
Uh, well, some of the more common ones is that, I would love to do CrossFit, but I need to get in shape first.
Mm,
Right. And um CrossFit is infinitely scalable. You don't need
yep.
to be you don't need to be in shape to start CrossFit. You just need to walk in the door. And sometimes that's the scariest part,
Yeah.
right? Some walking in the door, sometimes that's some of my clients, that's their very first goal is just
Hmm.
walking in the door. If they stay, fantastic. If they make it through the warm up and then head out the door, that's great. They're here, and it's just about building consistency and I tell people all the time, movement is medicine. And so the more we move, the better we feel, the better we perform, better we heal. We come back from things faster. We get over illnesses faster. There's a time and a place for rest, but there's also I believe that we are designed to move,
Yeah.
and the
Yeah.
more the more we can move, the healthier we can be.
Yeah. And
Uh,
yeah, to go along a little bit with that, I think a lot of, people think that, right. I mean, CrossFit, right? It is difficult. And it's meant to be because that's how we change and that's how we get better.
well,
But yeah, well, go ahead.
yeah, well, I was just going to say, it it is difficult, and it's designed for us to learn how to do hard things.
Hmm.
If we and it transfers to so many other areas of our life. If we can do hard things in the gym, we can do hard things in our life. We can do hard things at work. We can go through challenges, and we can come out the other side and be okay,
Yeah.
because you know nothing's worse than 100 burpees for time.
This is true. This is true.
Yeah,
Right, but I think you touch a good point with just that consistency, right? It's like anything in life, right? Showing up is 90% of the way there just by showing up.
just by walking in the door and being there,
Yeah. Yeah.
is heads and shoulders above what other people are doing.
Hmm. Totally. Absolutely. And then the more you do, the easier it gets, the more you can then do, and then you're able to get fit, I guess, whatever that fit
Whatever
looks like to
whatever
you.
fit is
Yeah.
for you. Yeah.
Yeah, totally. Totally. And oh man, there was something, it was right here and now it's gone,
Now it
but
just flew right out.
that's all right. Um, but yeah, like I mean, yeah, CrossFit is it's meant to be hard, it's meant to push you, but but also that's what it was. Um, right. If you do CrossFit correctly, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, right? CrossFit is designed to where um, if you do it correctly, you should have some rest days and you
Yes.
should have those recover days so that you can do better the next time you're in there, right?
Yes, yes. So
Yeah.
CrossFit was originally designed to be 3 on, 1 off, 3 on,
Okay.
and it
Yeah.
just cycled through that because you you were able to maintain intensity for the first 2 days. It would dip off on the third day, then you would recover, come back and hit it hard for 3 days, and then the affiliate model was born.
Yeah.
Or did I?
Oh, we lost
Or did,
your camera and we are
oh,
back.
uh-huh.
Cool. Take it away.
Well, and so like I was saying, once the affiliate model was born, they needed to they didn't really need to change the model. They just decided that, because people wanted to exercise 6 days a week or
Yeah.
7 days a week. And so that's what led to not having rest days.
Yeah.
And that and fear of missing out, right? Because it's like CrossFit will post the workout every night, and then you would look at the workout and go,
Yeah.
"Oh, I want to do that." And then the day after is like, "Oh, I want to do that." And then the day
Yeah.
after, and so it just led to uh, burnout and injury.
Yep. Yep. Which I think is where it gets a lot of those bad raps is,
A lot of the bad raps about CrossFit being dangerous,
yep.
and
Yeah.
and it really is. CrossFit done poorly is dangerous, but
Anything physical
anything
done
done
poorly
poorly
is
is
dangerous.
dangerous. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Um, cool. Yeah, and you guys do CrossFit correctly. So that's why I like you.
Well, thank you. I try. I try really hard. The other thing that I do is I meet people where they are, right? They might not have full range of motion on their squat depth, but they want to be here.
Yeah.
So I I I meet them where they are, and I hopefully by the time I've had my hands on them for weeks or months or years, they move better.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think it goes back to the misconception you brought up, of like, oh, you have to be fit to do CrossFit, right? And
Right.
it's like, no, like you said, it's infinitely scalable, right?
Yeah.
Um, tell us about how we scale or how you scale things in CrossFit.
Well, so our oldest member here is 73. Limited range of motion in his hips, his back, his shoulders, and my youngest member is a young 19-year-old stud that just wants to crush every workout, and they work out side by side. And so what what we do here at EMC is we scale to preserve the movement pattern.
Yeah.
So, if somebody can't do a pull-up, we modify the pull-up somehow, right? Ring rows, banded pull-ups, lat pull downs. Uh, I've never seen anybody do. I don't even know what to name it, but I came up with this forward-leaning ring row that better mimics the pulling mechanics of a pull-up. I haven't named it yet, but
Yeah. Name it
uh,
Ron. The Firefly.
there we go. That's what we're gonna call it. Um, and so we make adjustments for what people have. I mean, I've worked with Olympic athletes, I've worked with Paralympic athletes, I've worked with wounded veterans, uh,
Yeah.
uh, people with brain injuries. Um, I haven't seen it all, but I've seen a lot.
Yeah. Yeah. That's and I don't know if anyone has ever seen it all. If they say that, you're like, you're
If
lying.
Yeah, if anybody says they've seen it all, they're lying.
Yeah. Yeah, totally. Awesome. And then um yeah, I think it's kind of fun like how like just like speaking with you and like knowing kind of where your background is and stuff and how you incorporate a lot of the the mental work of
Uh-huh.
of working out as well. Like describe a little bit of like how you incorporate language and how we kind of like create our own barriers within our mind before we,
Well,
that goes back to movement and function and all that stuff.
yeah. So, our if you ask anybody that's into mindset to define mindset, right, you'll come up with 100 different definitions, right? There
Mhm.
may be more, right? But my definition of mindset is the stories that we tell ourselves, right? And we have good stories, we have bad stories. We have stories about our relationships, we have stories about our about money, we have stories about working out, we have stories about everything, right? And what I try to do here is catch people in that story and specifically, whoa, I'm just about ready to tip over. Yeah, that was a good save. Um, so it's called soft talk, right? So words like I think, maybe, feels like, probably, perhaps, maybe, should, right? We spend so much time shooting all over ourselves.
Uh-huh.
And then just this morning we were doing a workout and one of my members was like, I should probably go up. And I said, take out the probably. I should go up.
You should go
And
up. Yeah.
she added some weight to the bar and she got through her set and she did great. And those are the little things that I try to catch people in the moment. Uh,
Yeah.
and then that's how I do the mindset coaching on the floor. If somebody wants more, I have a structured format that we go through and
Yeah.
we play with words, right?
Right.
Our parents told us not to play with our food. I let you play with your words. And and there's no wrong answer. There's no story that I won't go into with somebody. Uh, but if somebody doesn't want to go there, you couldn't pay me enough money in the world to go uncover something that they don't want to touch.
Yeah. 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 It doesn't do anyone any good,
Yeah,
really.
yeah.
Yeah. I need you to come talk to some of my wrestlers at
Okay.
Conway and just be like, hey, like, would you just do what your coach asks you to do?
Yeah, yeah. The first time, not, oh geez, I should have listened to coach.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it was like, coach, that's too hard. I'm like, is it though? Like,
Yeah, yeah,
I don't think I can do that. I think you can. So it's like, I know you can actually, really.
yeah.
Um, cool. Yeah, and I think that, I mean, that just like you said, like we beat the selves up mentally, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh, well, I failed the lift, or I didn't do the pull up, or I didn't, right? And it's like, well, you beat yourself here first,
Yeah.
and your body
So
just followed along with it.
we have a black belt in beating ourselves up,
Hmm.
but we don't have a black belt in celebrating our victories. To circle back, so one of the things that irritates me is when I tell somebody, "Hey, you did a really great job today. Great. You showed up, you worked hard, you did all these things," and then they say, "Yeah, but I scaled."
Yeah,
I do a lot of work with the yeah buts,
yeah, yeah. The Yabbits, the Yabbit monster.
the yeah but monster, yeah,
Yeah,
and fixing how we use our language and how we use our words.
yeah. And it makes a difference. I totally agree with that. And I think that's, you bring up a good point too with like people say, yeah, but I scaled. And what they don't realize is you're not going to be maxing out every day. Like that's how you get hurt.
Yeah, it's exactly how you get
Some
hurt.
some days you just need to scale it back a little bit and it's okay. It's not,
Yeah,
it's normal, right?
I it's if the fire's hot, cook. If it's not hot, consistency is king, right?
Yep. Yeah.
Just being here in the gym is the win.
Yeah, I love it. I love that mentality. I mean, I mean, we could go into a whole bunch of reasons on why some days you just do better than others. And right, it could
Oh
be
yeah, there.
maybe you didn't eat right, maybe you didn't sleep well, maybe you're just having a bad day,
Yeah,
like
yeah. Stress.
stress,
Yeah,
whatever.
you've gotten a fight with your wife before you left the house that day. So many
Yeah,
things.
Yeah.
could you drank too much coffee, not enough water. I mean, we could
Yeah.
so many things affect our performance.
Yep. Yep. It does. And I think that, knowing that there are CrossFit coaches out there, right? You're definitely included in this one that understands that to where it's not, this whole, you gotta go 1,000% all the time. And it's like, whoa, hold back, man. Like,
Yeah, anybody can make you curl up in a puddle of your sweat after a workout,
yeah,
but
yeah,
it takes a special person to help you get better.
yeah, yeah. And I think that, that leads to, like just good leadership in the gym,
Yeah.
right? Of having a coach that isn't just a coach, but is a leader, right? And
Hmm.
and can actually do that for you. Um, I don't know, what are your methods, or how do you like control your gym and your athletes or people, right? Maybe they don't even consider themselves athletes, and that's okay, whether they're working
Yeah.
out.
Um, I I don't know if they I don't control them, but they know that I care about them.
Mm,
Right? And I
yeah,
think that is the first step to good leadership is making sure that your people, whether they're your members, whether they're your employees, that they know that you care first and foremost.
yeah,
You know, because you've heard it over and over again. Nobody cares how much you know until they know how much you care.
yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
my my other favorite show besides it's second place to Firefly is Ted Lasso. I think Ted Lasso is the epitome of leadership.
That's awesome.
And so I mean I geek out on that show. I think my
Yeah.
wife thinks I'm nuts because I write things up when I put it into AI and I have it compile all this information and Ted Lasso it and do all of this stuff and she just
That's
thinks I'm
so
weird.
funny. That's funny.
But
You know, I have heard people mention Ted Lasso all the time. I've never seen Ted Lasso. So
really,
it's going on the list.
it should be on your list. It should definitely be on your list.
It's on the list.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I think that's that philosophy of like leadership and coaching is so important. I mean, right, and that they know that you care about them. I mean, first of all, you don't go back to a gym that you don't feel appreciated. You don't
Right.
go back
Yeah.
anywhere, right?
Yeah. You don't
But
go anywhere if you don't feel appreciated, you'll never go back.
yeah, yeah. Especially the gym that's making you curl up in a puddle of sweat at the end of every workout. It's like,
Yeah. Or and I've been around for a while and there's been gyms where if you weren't if you didn't have your eye on the games or regionals or semifinals, you didn't belong there. And
oh yeah,
they would put you in the corner and not coach you.
yep. They don't even like talk to you really.
Yeah, forget it.
I've actually been to those gyms, right?
And it's so
Before
uncomfortable.
before I met you, just like going in, and just like, hey, I just wanted to get to know this gym, and you kind of go in, and I know how to work out, right? And
Yeah.
I'm not going to be like top dog in there, but I'm going to work out hard every time,
Yeah.
uh, and like there's one gym, I won't say which one it was, but like the whole time you're just like, they don't really want me here. Like I'm the new guy, like no one said hi. I mean, it was just kind of,
Uh-huh.
I'm like, this is odd. The coach is like, yeah, sign the waiver. Yeah, cool, sign the waiver. Okay, awesome. Right. And then you're just like, okay, cool, like whatever. And
Yeah.
and at the
We
end you just kind of walk out like no one said nice job, no one fist bumped you, nobody, you're like, okay, I guess I'm not coming back.
Yeah, well, and so then that's my second uh I don't know if it's a leadership rule, but philosophy is standards,
Yeah.
right? We talked earlier about, well, I meet people where they are, but one of my standards is when somebody new walks in the door, you say hello to them.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
walk over, you shake their hand, you fist bump them, and you start asking questions. And then when more members start showing up, you're introducing them to everybody in the gym.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then
It's
that way, when they get they feel a part of the
group.
community and the group, and I call it creating a third place, right? We have home and we have work, and then there's usually we all have a third place.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's a gym, sometimes it's a church, sometimes it's a community organization. But I've tried really hard to make EMC people's third home.
Yeah. And it's cool. I haven't worked out there all the time, but the time that I did, like it was fun, man. It
We
was
had fun
fun.
that day.
And it was right. And everyone there, just like you said, it was just like you didn't know it was my first time meeting everyone there, but yet it felt like we were just friends, right? And
Yeah.
we knew each other even though we didn't.
Uh-huh. And
At the end, everyone's like,
that's the
"Hey,
best.
nice job, way to go." You know,
Yeah.
and it's fun and it makes working out fun. It makes being healthy fun.
Yeah. Well, yeah, absolutely. Nothing's better than suffering with your friends.
Yeah, yeah, totally. Well, tell us a little bit about this Enlifted method. Like what is it? How does it differ from other coaching? This is a realm that I'm like, I don't know anything.
Well,
But
so going way back, personal development books. I mean, I've read so many personal development books. Tony Robbins, Brene Brown. I've read Gary John Bishop. All of these books,
yeah.
right? All of these books, and they were great with the we'll call it the 10,000 foot view,
Mhm.
the why we should. And I just did it myself, right?
Yeah, yeah.
The why we need to pay attention to what we say to ourselves, right? But there was never a how.
Mhm.
At least for me, I never found a how until I found in lifted. And it started out with just he walked me through a really quick should detox, right? And it was like finish this sentence. I should dot dot dot.
Yeah.
Right? And then we started playing with those words and it got to I can because dot dot
Mhm.
dot. And just I fell in love with I call it transformational wordsmithing
Yeah.
and just getting people a better understanding uh, of how to use our words. And I have lists of soft talk words around the gym. I have them on my phone. I have one right here. Mhm. And you don't have to stop using these words. It's just better if you uh, reduce the use, right? So the
Mhm.
self-talk words are probably, perhaps, feels like, guess, maybe, could, might, possibly, sort of, kind of, potentially, hopefully, try, one day, should, almost like,
Yeah.
right? And to put all these soft talk words into a sentence, it would, hey, probably, maybe, would you someday want to go out on a date with me? Right?
Yeah.
Nobody's nobody's going to say yes to that, but but hey, do you want to go out
Yeah.
on a date on Saturday with me?
Yeah.
Uh, it it takes out the ambiguity, right?
Hmm.
And it takes away our ability to, you know, one day I'd like to, right? One day will never
Yeah.
come, but
Yeah.
if you use more solid language, right? I'm going to by
Yeah.
January 2026, dot dot dot.
Hmm.
It's solid, right?
Yeah.
Uh, and then when we and Same thing when we're working with stories, right? Uh, and what I do is I get the stories out of your head and onto paper because the stories we tell in our head go 1,000 miles an hour and there's no end, right? But
It's what keeps me up at night, Ron.
yeah, exactly. It keeps us all up at night. And what's funny is when you write those stories down, right? When it's in your head, it feels like it's this big. And then it's,
Mhm.
I'm going to get this down on paper. And then you get it down on paper and you think you're going to fill up a whole notebook, but it's like a paragraph and a half.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, it's not as big as I thought it was.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then we start going in and I try to pick out the sentence that's holding the whole thing together, right?
Mhm.
Like there's this story. This woman had this horrible relationship story, and it had affected her for 15 years. And it was just this big, ugly, hairy story, and it was held together with the sentence, "He did that to me.
Mhm.
He did that to me." And this isn't somebody that I was working with. It's somebody that somebody else was working with that I know, and they changed it to "He did this to himself."
Mhm.
And she said that phrase. She said that, and he did this to himself, and her voice went up, and that's called up talk. And when that happens, it changes the way we're actually. It's like, oh, I've never thought about that before. It's a new way of thinking. And then it was, he did do that to himself. And then she went on this whole tirade for 10, 15 minutes about how it wasn't going to work out anyway, because he was just this guy that she didn't even want to be with anyway. But but she was weighed down by that story for 15 years. He did this to me.
Wow.
And
Yeah.
it's projection, right? You're just well,
Yep.
I'm just trying to get people to uh change the way they talk to themselves and and taking ownership of what they say to themselves.
Yeah. Oh, that's awesome. That's cool. And what do you like? Do you do group sessions with this? Is it individual treatments? Is it?
I do one-on-one sessions right now. If somebody wants to work with me, they grab some time on my calendar. I'll send them a Google Doc. We do it all over Google Doc and on Zoom or Google Meet, and we do it live. They'll fill out the questionnaire, and we'll go through. It's called a four-step process with their stories. So we'll get the story, title it like a movie, write it down, then we start reading through it, and then we there's some techniques we do where we read it slower, and then we start adding in some breath work and things like that, and then it takes that story from being right up here in people's face and pushes it way out so you can actually see, oh,
Yeah.
it's not that big a deal. And I do the same thing with goals, right? It's interesting when we have something that we're really proud of.
Hmm.
It's actually way out when we think about it and we talk about it. It's way out in the distance, right? So far away that we can't even really see it. But then when we celebrate wins, does the opposite of that negative story where, you know, the negative story is right up in our face and we kind of push it away. What we
Hmm.
do when we celebrate wins, we bring that story into the forefront so that we can actually see the details of it and we can be like,
Yeah.
oh, you know what? That was pretty cool.
Yeah.
I deserve this accolade, and I am
Yeah.
so proud of myself for doing this, right? So
Yeah. And
it,
like I am as cool as what they think I am. Like
exactly.
I really did do that. I am cool. Yeah,
I
I
am cool.
I can do that. Yeah.
Exactly.
That's so cool. That is so awesome. And the nice thing about doing that is you don't even have to do CrossFit to do the Enlift
No, you don't. No, you don't.
method. And you don't have to do the Enlift method to join your CrossFit
That's very true
gym.
too.
So
Yeah.
that's awesome. So yeah, so that's cool. So that's kind of how you start with the Enlift method. How does like if someone says, "Hey, you know what? I want to try CrossFit." And they come in for their first day, what is their experience going to be like?
Um, so it kind of depends on the day, but typically what will happen is they will we'll have some communication back and forth before they even get here, so I kind of know if they have experience working out or if they're brand new. And then we'll we'll come in. They'll come into the gym. We'll get them set up. I'll show them where everything is, where they can put their keys, where they can hang their jackets, where the bathrooms are, where all the equipment is in the gym, and depending on the size of the class, if I have a class that's really full, I will give them a workout buddy
Cool.
that will help them get through like the warm ups and
Mhm.
figure out what's an AMRAP, what's an EMOM. Right?
Yeah.
They'll answer those questions if they'll have a buddy, or if it's just me and them. I
Yeah.
take the time to explain everything that's going on.
Yeah.
Uh, we'll we'll talk about scaling. We'll talk about in intensity and relative intensity, and how what intensity is for an Olympic athlete and what intensity is for a 73-year-old grandma is different,
Yeah.
and where everybody is. And then we'll scale movements appropriately. We'll scale rep schemes. We'll scale time domains. And then I keep my eye on them. They'll go through a workout. It might be 5 rounds for time, and they'll do three. And I will say, congratulations, you finished your first CrossFit workout.
Yeah.
Um,
That's awesome.
yeah,
Yeah, that's cool. And there is a whole CrossFit language.
yes, there is. It takes a little while to get used to it all.
Sometimes I'll go work out and I'll be like, "What? I've never heard that phrase before."
Yeah, right.
I like for instance, the Murph is coming up, right? The first time I heard Murph, I'm like, "Murph?
Yeah,
What's Murph?" Right?
yeah, that's coming up on Monday.
Yeah.
What? 20 rounds of Cindy.
So,
What?
what? Who's Cindy? Does
Who's
she have a
who's Cindy and
sister?
why is she here?
Yeah, that's cool. Um, Man, is there anything else that we haven't talked about that you'd love to let everybody know that you do and all that
Just
stuff?
CrossFit. CrossFit is for everybody.
Hmm.
Uh, there's the other side of that coin. It is for everybody. It's not for everyone.
Yeah,
Uh, but if people just want to be good at life, I believe that CrossFit is the way to get better at life.
awesome. I love it. And then how can people get a hold of you for CrossFit and for um,
So
your Enlifted?
to get a hold of CrossFit EMC, you can email us at info at CrossFit CFEMC.com. We're also on Instagram at uh, I don't even know what that is. The @ sign uh, CrossFit EMC. If they want to reach out for Enlifted work, it's you can find me on Instagram, Ron Hansen Mindset Coach,
Cool.
and you can
Awesome.
just message me there.
Okay, awesome. Very good. Um, Man, thanks for coming on. It's a
Oh, thanks for
blast.
having me.
One of these days I'll make it back out to EMC and
Okay,
come work out with you guys. So
you should come on Monday. Do Murph with us.
yeah, I'll think about it.
All right,
It's my one day I get to sleep in. So-
all right. I'll give you that.
Well, awesome. Well, thanks for coming on. And yeah, if you're really looking into a good place to start CrossFit and just learn what it is, Ron is absolutely awesome. And everybody there at CrossFit EMC. Oh, and where are you guys located?
Oh, we are in Mill Creek, Utah, 33rd South and just west of 23rd East.
Awesome. Very good. Okay. Well, until next time, and we'll see you later, man.
All right, take care.